Bootstrap businesses are not easy to manage. Entrepreneurs who are managing bootstrap businesses have to be tenacious and should have the ability to overcome any challenge. A bootstrap business starts and goes a certain distance in its journey through capital infused by the promoter or entrepreneur, and at times with some help from friends and family. However, there is no external funding or there is no external investor involved in a bootstrap business. So, this gives the bootstrap business an ability in terms of being independent to take decisions without too much of consultation, because if you have investors on board, many a times before taking any major decision, an investor has to be consulted. So, especially at the initial and growth stage of an organization, many entrepreneurs prefer to maintain their businesses as bootstrapped. Also, the fact is, although we are in an era where investor funded organizations rule the roost, however, the fact is there are quite a few or a number of bootstrap companies or organizations which have gone on to not only survive, however, thrive and do extremely well. So, in case an entrepreneur managing a bootstrap organization pays due attention and weightage to the multiple vital facets in terms of managing that business effectively, then ensuring the success of that bootstrap business is not going to be at all difficult. I would outline 6 particular points pertaining to what entrepreneurs who are spearheading bootstrap businesses need to maintain in perspective. So, the first point for bootstrap entrepreneurs, or for that matter, any entrepreneur, is to ensure that the product or solution offered by your business that solves a certain problem, also there is going to be a demand in the market for that. There has to be the right product market fit. Also, it should be monetizable as well as scalable. So, identifying the right product and solution which your business would offer is extremely vital. The second point is to ensure that since you don't have external funding coming, you have limited resources. So, there you have to treat your customer or the end consumer as your investor. So, the focal point of your business is going to be the customer or the consumer. So, you have to understand, especially since a bootstrap business has its revenue being plowed back into the business, or for that matter, even the profit that's plowed back into the business for further growth and expansion. So, understanding this, you will need to maintain in perspective that only if you're focused on the customer's wants and requirements, only then would your business be successful. Because in a bootstrap business, if the revenue doesn't come in, definitely that would sound the death knell for that particular business. So please ensure that you have your customers' desires, wants, and objectives as the focal point of the business, and accordingly structure the business around that. Consider your customer as your investor, and what revenue do you derive from your customer, that's actually your funding. So if you move ahead with that perspective, I'm sure even a bootstrap business would be enormously successful. The third element pertains to frugality. Since there are limited resources, not too much capital or funds available, so there you will have to run the business with as much frugality as possible. Ensure that your operations are managed in a lean manner. There are not too much of unnecessary expenditure. In case of any investment that you're doing, be it in marketing or any other business expense, you have to ensure that you get the bang for your buck. Every dollar or rupee that you invest should give you a certain multiple in terms of returns. So before you make any decision pertaining to spending, you have to analyze the return on investment or return on capital employed. So that's going to be extremely vital. So only a frugal business can be a successful bootstrap business. So you will have to run your business as if it's a recession going on, even if there are good times. because you never know when there will be a bad news, because today's business environment is highly predictable. So bootstrap business, even in good times, will have to be run as a business which is being managed during a time of recession or downturn. That's going to be extremely vital. The fourth point is pertaining to collaboration. So a successful bootstrap business, the entrepreneur or group of entrepreneurs behind that business or spearheading that business would have to look at opportunities to collaborate with other entrepreneurs, like-minded and good entrepreneurs. Of course, be very wary, because at times you may not come across the right people. However, you come across the right set of people or individuals who you want to collaborate and synergize with. Look at those opportunities. That's going to be extremely worthwhile. Also network, because every entrepreneur, he or she is the face of his or her own business. So network, go all about, build connections, and as I mentioned, take every opportunity to collaborate and synergize with the right set of people and on the right terms favorable to you as well as the other party or other individual. The next point in terms of what you also need to bear in perspective is the hiring. So even when you're hiring team members, which is necessary, please ensure that you put in a lot of time hiring the right set of people, because in a bootstrap business, every dollar or every rupee matters. So you hire the wrong person, then it's going to be catastrophical, not only in terms of the culture of the organization, in terms of achievement of your goals, however, also in terms of what you would have invested in that particular person or that human capital. So ensure that you put in the right effort in hiring the right set of people. So don't look at hiring a large team, hire a small team of commandos. That's going to be extremely vital. So your team of people or your team should be a team of highly skilled and highly trained individuals who have the right kind of cultural elements. Integrity is a very important virtue. So you will have to look at all of these things, because a lot of bootstrap businesses, or for that matter any business, one of the reasons of failure is wrong people being hired. So don't get into any kind of sense of urgency in terms of hiring. Take your time, have multiple interviews, maybe with different people, and then take the right decision, because one wrong hire can put your organization in a very bad spot. So hiring, training, upskilling, all these are going to be extremely important. So you have a very strong set of capable team members who would work shoulder to shoulder with you to take your organization to the next level. And last, however, not least, the sixth point is going to be in terms of you emphasizing and taking care of yourself. Many a times, bootstrapped entrepreneurs, because of less resources being available, and there is a lot that they have to do, they may not be able to delegate everything because of limitations or restrictions or constraints in terms of economic and other resources. They end up doing a lot and getting burned out. So there, ensure as much as possible you take care of yourself, you don't put too much of stress on yourself, you balance everything including your personal and professional life, and understand, until you invest in yourself and you are in a position to manage yourself and the business, only then would your organization move on to the next level. So these are the 6 vital points in terms of managing a bootstrap business. Let me assure you, a bootstrap business, in spite of all its challenges, once successful, is going to be extremely satisfying experience for the entrepreneur as well as the entire team. My best wishes to you. Thank you very much for your time.